Unveiling the dark web of exploitation, the doctor's room. In a bustling newsroom in South Korea, the producers of SPS, one of the country's largest and most influential news networks, gathered in a tense, dimly lit conference room. Their eyes were glued to a video playing on a large screen. The atmosphere was suffocating. No one spoke. The room was filled only with the sound of their shallow breaths. The video on the screen was chilling. A young girl, unclothed, with a plastic bag over her head. Red string was tied tightly around her, and she spoke in a flat, haunting voice. "I am the doctor's slave. I will set myself on fire in a few days in front of the SPS headquarters. Please do not air the doctor's story on TV." The watermark on the video read, "SPS Doctor's Slave." The producers were frozen. "Play it again," one of them whispered. "Did she say she's going to light herself on fire? In front of our building? We have to do something, now!" They immediately called the police to monitor their headquarters, but the building was vast. All it would take was a single match and 2 seconds to fulfill the ominous threat. The producers knew they had to act fast, to find her, before she carried out her horrifying plan. But the girl in the video had no distinguishing features. Her face was obscured. The background revealed nothing but a generic room that could belong to anyone, anywhere. The only clue? A pink and white friendship bracelet on her wrist. Then it clicked. "Wait! The bracelet! I've seen it before!" a producer exclaimed. She quickly pulled out her phone and scrolled through a sea of images and videos from anonymous chat rooms. There it was, the same girl wearing the same bracelet. This time, she was sitting in front of a bookshelf. The team zoomed in on the image, desperate for a clue. Written on the spine of a textbook was the name of a middle school. Scattered sticky notes on the bookshelf revealed the girl's name alongside chilling messages. "I love you, Doctor. I am Doctor's slave." This discovery was just the tip of a horrifying iceberg. The producers soon uncovered the sinister world of the Doctor and his network of exploitation. He operated not on the dark web, but on Telegram, one of the most widely used messaging apps in the world. In the shadowy corners of this platform, he ran a grotesque empire of abuse and control, attracting followers from around the globe who revered him as a godlike figure. His chat rooms, known as doctors' rooms, functioned as virtual torture chambers. Victims, often young girls, were coerced into performing unspeakable acts, recorded for the twisted entertainment of thousands. The doctor's signature style left no room for ambiguity. Each victim bore the words, "Doctor's slave," scrawled on their bodies, sometimes even carved into their skin. One girl, in her middle school uniform, was forced to lick the floors of a men's restroom while smiling for the camera. Another was made to brand herself with degrading words, her trembling hands carving letters into her flesh, while tears streamed down her face. These horrific acts were not isolated incidents, but part of an elaborate system designed to humiliate, control, and profit. Meanwhile, a journalist named Kim Hwan received a tip that would lead him straight into the heart of this nightmare. The email contained screenshots, an IP address, and a Telegram link. When he clicked on the link, he found himself in a marketplace of depravity. Chat rooms were categorized like a twisted menu: lowly room, children's room, live broadcasts, and more. This dark ecosystem was referred to as the Gotham Room on Telegram. Much like Gotham City from the comics, it was a chaotic, lawless space where exploitation thrived unchecked. Users advertised horrific content, including hidden camera footage. One of the most infamous cases tied to the Gotham Room was the Nth Room, operated by a user nicknamed God, later identified as Moon Hyung-wook. The Nth Room was a network of 8 groups that distributed sexually exploitative videos involving minors and young women. Users paid in cryptocurrency for access, ensuring anonymity while perpetuating this horrifying trade. The Nth Room paved the way for the even more sinister Doctor's Room, run by Cho Ju-bin, also known as the Doctor. On March 23, 2020, the Seoul Broadcasting System disclosed Cho Ju-bin's identity to the public. The following day, the Seoul Metropolitan Police Agency's Personal Information Disclosure Review Committee officially released his personal details under Article 25 of the Act on Special Cases concerning the punishment of sexual crimes. This marked the first time in South Korea's history that a sexual criminal's identity was publicly disclosed under this law. Cho's accomplice, Nam Kyung-op, was revealed later that year on July 15, 2020. These revelations shook the nation. But the web of crimes extended far beyond Cho Moon-hyung-wook. The original God was arrested and charged in May 2020. His personal information was released shortly thereafter, and in April 2021, he was sentenced to 34 years in prison. The number of confirmed victims from the Doctor's Rooms alone exceeded 103, including 26 minors. The scale of abuse led to significant legal and societal changes. The South Korean government introduced stricter laws, increasing penalties for digital sex crimes and raising the age of consent from 13 to 16. Kim's initial investigation barely scratched the surface. The more he uncovered, the more he realized the scale of this operation. The Doctor's Rooms had amassed over 260,000 paying members, each contributing to his growing empire. The victims' lives were shattered, their identities exposed, their dignity stolen. For many, there was no escape. Even when they tried to flee, their addresses and personal information were leaked to predators in the VIP rooms. Desperate to bring the Doctor to justice, Kim collaborated with another journalist and a mysterious insider known only as the Joker. Together, they infiltrated the Doctor's network, gathering evidence that painted a picture of unfathomable horror. Yet, every step forward felt like walking deeper into a labyrinth. The Doctor was a master manipulator, always several moves ahead. He toyed with his pursuers, feeding them breadcrumbs while remaining untouchable. Even when the journalists managed to infiltrate his VIP rooms, they found themselves in a digital hellscape where victims were live-streamed for the amusement of paying watchers. The Doctor's cruelty knew no bounds. He escalated the abuse to cater to his audience's insatiable appetite for suffering. As the story unfolded, it gained traction, not just in South Korea, but globally. Mainstream media outlets picked it up, and public outrage reached a boiling point. Yet the Doctor seemed invincible. He taunted journalists and authorities alike, using his vast resources and network of accomplices to evade capture. But even gods can fall. On November 26, 2020, Cho Ju-bin was sentenced to 40 years in prison, a sentence later upgraded to 42 years in 2021. Moon-hyung-wook received a 34-year sentence. These landmark cases set a precedent for how digital sex crimes would be prosecuted in South Korea. The Supreme Court announced plans to impose harsher sentences on such crimes, responding to widespread demands for justice. Meanwhile, the South Korean government revised multiple laws to combat digital sexual violence. New measures allowed for the swift prosecution of perpetrators, the protection of victims, and the confiscation of criminal profits. A special task force was established to address these crimes, emphasizing international cooperation and the use of advanced technology to track down offenders. This chilling tale serves as a reminder of the resilience of the human spirit in the face of unimaginable evil. It's a story of darkness, but also of hope, a testament to the power of truth and the unwavering determination to protect the vulnerable. Stay tuned to Storytime with Zoo for Part 2, where we dive deeper into the takedown of the Doctor and the heroes who risked everything to bring him to justice. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe for more.